welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. Our VIP featured guest is one of Canada's top fashion stylists, a personal and celebrity stylist with years in the fashion industry. She's become the go-to expert in all things fashion related. Along with dressing hip personal clients, both men and women, she also dresses local television personalities and A-list celebrities for the red carpet. She is a style contributor for many publications, including BC Living, Fresh Magazine, and on-air expert on Cityline. Earlier this year, many of her clients were seen on the red carpet at the Daytime Emmys. In addition, drumroll please, everybody, she is the author of the upcoming book, Style for Everybody, a guide to curating your essential wardrobe. Silhouettes, I am thrilled to welcome Kim. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Hello, I am so good. Hello, Silhouettes. I am so pleased to be here and chat with you guys.
And we are thrilled to have you, as I mentioned. All right, milady, because it is so fabulous having you with us as you share your Silhouette of Success story and journey with us, how about you kick it off by helping to illustrate the early shapings of your background with our audience?
Early shapings of my background. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to kind of keep it brief so that everyone can maintain their interest, but it's something interesting for everyone out there listening to think about. I have been styling literally since I've been a little girl. And it's very cool if you're a parent of a child and you notice them doing things that are kind of consistent. I say embrace that, help them, facilitate it. I started off by dressing my little sister. I grew up in Africa, actually, in Gaborone. And I remember dressing her up like a doll, and she was my first client. And that passion sort of continued on into Barbies, obviously, at the time. And then all my friends in university, we would go out. And as soon as they would arrive at my house, I realized that not everyone understood how to put an outfit together. So they would arrive and they knew that once they got to my house, I was going to dig in my closet. I was going to restyle them. And after I restyled them, we would go out. So that's kind of the roots of it. I went to university and I did all the things my parents told me to do. They told me not to go into fashion. God bless them both. And I got a couple degrees and then eventually found my way back to my passion, which has led me to where I am right now as a stylist that has been very blessed to work in all aspects of the fashion community.
Love that you are telling the audience from your personal experience to follow that passion and you tie it back to your younger self, right? We remember that creative play, and before we were told to fall in line and do what you're supposed to do. I love that you were able to come back to that for yourself.
It definitely was a blessing. And I think, in telling that story, that's something, it's very hard to do, right? When you're a young adult, You have to start making money. Our parents have, grown up a certain way, society is a certain way, and it's not a bad thing. My degrees were very useful. I learned a lot in university and I had a great time, but it is important that fire that you feel, that passion, the original you, it is so important. If you feel it, I think you follow it.
What were your degrees in? Do you want to share just for kicks?
Yeah, I'm totally unrelated. Oddly enough, I did my minor was in English literature, which has helped me write my book.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so I had a minor in English literature and education. And education, so I was a teacher. It actually is a communication degree, and so I still think any education that you do is very valuable. I mean, I learned amazing things, and I had no idea that when I minored in English lit, that I would actually be writing a book, 20 years later, 30 years later. So
Building that skill set, nothing is wasted, is it? When you've got the
nothing is wasted.
Mhm.
Everything adds to
Yes.
who you are today.
Yes. Amazing. Okay. Let's dive in a little bit because, again, as we start to learn more about you and your Silhouette of Success journey, with everything out there that we now have access to in social media and watching and following, we always get a kick out of wondering what a day in the life looks like. So the alarm clock goes off, or the bell, or the alert, whatever, the sunshine, whatever you may use. Your day begins or work life begins. What's a day in the life look like? Are you very structured? Are you a combination? Or are you more just spontaneous? What's it look like for you?
So that's a great question. And one of the things that I love about what I do is that every day is completely different. And so I am an artist, and I would say that making your own schedule and keeping that effectiveness on track is something that is a little more challenging for me. And so so for example, I'll give you an example of today. Like today I woke up, and I woke up early. I was up at 6:30, and I have the usual things I do. I have a little Frenchie, her name's Pippa. So I take her out. I have kids. I get them up for school. And then immediately I'm writing for a few, contributing to a few magazines. And so I had one for women's health where I was talking about, so I had to write that article, and that was about your body type and tummy control swimsuits. And, what does that mean? What are the best ones? What are the type of materials? So I love that because I get to share my expertise with a large audience. And to me, it makes me feel so good because I want to teach everyone. Again, it's the teacher in me, I guess, wanting to share what I've learned. So I wrote that article, and then I wrote another article for Bustle, which is an online magazine out of New York. And that article was, what are the top, I think 30 trendy summer pieces that you can find under $50. So two very drastically different articles. But again, using my skill set, I'm writing. Then I jumped on a call with a brand, so that I work with many brands. So whether that is clothing um, or beauty, so I jump on a call with them because I'm on TV in New York next week. So I wanted to talk to the brands about what they had for me for that segment. So it's just kind of like it can be very chaotic. And then after this call, I'm running down to a meeting down the street, and hopefully then I'll make my kids some dinner. And then at the end of the evening, I actually have a big brand event um, at 8 o'clock in the east end of the city. And that's a part of my life too, is that I easily have in the middle of kind of event season, I could have easily an event a night. And so for me, those look like parties for everyone else, but their work, those are, PR companies that are my friends that I try to support. Designers that I wear their clothes to promote them. So like my job is very multifaceted because I'm an actual working stylist, an author, a YouTuber, on TV as a style expert. Um, so there's so many elements to it. And also I have a following. And so I try to use, again, my skill set and what I have to help women. So I like to post what I'm wearing. So if people go to my Instagram, hopefully it's inspirational. So that's part of my job too, is dress up, go out. I'm photographed when I walk in, and I post those pictures, and I do it for all the women out there so they can see, oh, that's really interesting. I maybe wouldn't have worn a floral length dress to that event, but they can see how I styled it. And I think I'm hoping that it gives inspiration.
It ignites the creative in the follower, right? Or the end user thinking, "Oh, look at what she did there."
Yeah, that's my goal. Like
Yes.
I wore cargo jeans and an oversized white blazer to a slipper event. These girls launched this really cool slippers. And if you guys are interested in all this stuff, head to my Instagram. I tag everybody. But they made these most beautiful slippers that are made for your feet specifically, as like a podiatrist has been involved or whatever. Anyway, I digress. But I threw on an oversized blazer with oversized jeans, and actually it looks quite cute when you add heels and can pair it in the right way. So hopefully people can look at that and then they can see that they can do that too.
We love that sharing, passing that light forward. That's what we're all about. So this is fantastic.
Yes, that is my goal.
Yes, good. And we're going to dive into that here in a second with your upcoming book, another teaser for the audience. So talking through your journey into the fashion and the fashion styling. You mentioned your parents early on, with which thankfully the degrees. I mean, as you just shared this, I'm writing and taking notes, and there's quite a few tie-ins with what your daily looks like with those degrees. So that was a blessing, right? But
Yes, it was.
who do you think most influenced you as you went down this path into the fashion and the styling? What was your influence there? What motivated you?
That's a really good question. I mean, I have several influences. I'm very close with my family. My mom is quite fashionable. She always looked amazing. She was always dressed well. And so, probably, not really knowing, but always watching her walk out of the house put together, probably would be my first influence. And then also, generationally, my dad's mom, who's now 102 and still alive and very much with it. She's in a nursing home now, but I come in and she's got little blazers on, a little loafers and a blazer. She's got like a leopard sweater. So I think my very first two influences were actually my mother and my grandmother, and just seeing these women that were very classy, always put together. And I think that's where it started for me.
Oh, you gave me goosebumps on that.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
so relatable. It's so relatable. My grandmother was 107 and was very with it
Wow.
too. Isn't that a treat? When it's a
Yes.
blessing, right? It just is. And I can just visualize your grandmother in her sweater and just styling. Oh, I love that. I
She
love
is, like, when I
that.
roll into the nursing home, and again, like, if anyone's listening on my Instagram and my YouTube, I actually have a whole video of my ama on my YouTube, and you can just see how sharp she is. She's actually quite famous on my Instagram because I interview her all the time and ask her life lessons, and I mean, she gets her hair blown out once a week in the nursing home. She's got her blade like, she gets dressed every day, and that was my example. I mean, what class.
Right, right. And oh, I think we crave that these days. Crave it, crave it. Wow, how exciting. I did not know that part. I love to hear that.
Mhm.
Um, on your professional journey, on the business side of things, can you think of what advice do you wish someone would have told you? Reflecting back, is there something you think, that would have been good to know?
I think the advice that would have been good to know is get yourself organized ahead of time. So when I started, I just kind of started rolling. I was a stylist, I was taking on clients, but things started to happen fairly fast for me. And I don't know if you're Christian or an energy person or whatever it is to the listeners out there. The doors were just being continually opened, and I wasn't really ready for the back end business side of it. Um, I should have been incorporated. I should have had a bookkeeper earlier. I should have, like those things would have been really helpful. Because as a creative, and a lot of people, they head into their business like they're so excited and they're heading in that direction, but there is almost like a base that is required, because once it starts to take off, you really need that already in place. And so I wish that someone had, grounded me and said, let's get the business side organized, just the base, and then off you go. That would have been great to hear. So that's my advice to you, followers and listeners out there. Whatever your new adventure is that your heart desires, get yourself organized at the base level on the business side.
That's fantastic. Get that foundation in place. And it's so
Yes.
hard when you're so jazzed and pumped up and passionate about the mission. And you just really want to get in there and get going and get those clients and customers because you do
I
need to
know
fill
that's
that
not fun
pipeline.
advice.
It's real
Yeah, and
advice.
I have one more, it's
Yeah.
real advice, and I have one more thing that I think I wish someone had told me, and I did plow ahead, but a lot of people give advice based on not wanting to give the wrong advice. So this is quite
Mm,
common. Um, they give it almost to protect themselves because they don't want to say, yeah, you should go for that. You should invest that money. You should take that jump because if it doesn't work out, you're going to turn around and look at them and they're going to feel bad. So a lot of times people they check their advice.
mm.
Because they don't want to do harm. And I think it's a positive thing. But I think you need to really go to the professionals kind of in each area and ask them questions rather than like asking your circle of friends or, you know, because not everyone is gonna they get scared for you. Like if it's a big financial investment that you're throwing in, not everyone is gonna want to say, yes, go for that. You should do it um, because they just get worried. So I think, so that advice is to summarize is just people give advice based on their own experiences and also fear, of leading you in the wrong direction if they don't know.
Isn't that wild? Words of wisdom. Go to those subject matter experts because you're right.
Yeah.
There's an innate desire to protect, and you're right, out of fear. Um, been there for somebody, and then you don't think about it until they point it out later. Wow, that's fantastic. When you are working with a client and you might not get stuck at that point because it's your creative artisticness in you, maybe when it's you're working towards a goal or a dream or something within your business, if you get stuck, what best practices work for you to get unstuck to help you reach that goal and dream?
That's a good question too. So if you're in a creative zone and you feel a little bit stuck,
Yeah.
that's the question. Yeah. So you know what I find interesting, and so when I was writing my book, I actually wrote it during COVID and I was sitting on the deck, but you can sit and write. And I tried to give myself a schedule and I would push forward to do like a chapter a day or whatever it was I was doing. And I would get stuck. And one of the things that helped me, and if anyone out there is like a big Tony Robbins fan, he talks about moving your physical body.
Mhm.
And so if you're stuck creatively, you can move your physical body. You can take your dog for a walk. You can go do yoga. You can, whatever it is for you, do a dance class, physically move your body. That changes the body flow. Everything kind of gets moving on a physical sense. And if it's mental, then you need to do some things that will help you get unstuck. So, whatever it is for you, if you're an extrovert and you really like being with your friends, call up your friends, plan a lunch date, take a trip if you can. And if you can't take a trip, go somewhere for the day that doesn't cost you any money. Change your location, change your scenery, the smell, the people that you're interacting with. So I think the key to being stuck is changing mentally and physically your body. That is the best thing I can say. Put on music, light a candle, um, anything that will change, kind of adds to all of your sensory experiences.
All encompassing, the holistic approach there.
I like it. Well, you know what?
Oh,
I mean, for
yeah,
you, what do you do if you're stuck? If you're stuck
yeah.
creatively,
Mhm.
what's your method? What do you do?
I would say similar, similar. In
Right.
fact, 20 minutes ago, it was get up, go outside, get some fresh air, work on the plant. was I was watering plants and just trimming off some dead leaves. I like, okay, this brings some beauty back to it. And then it was like, bam, all right, that felt good. Just a little bit of nature, a
That's
little bit of fresh
good.
air and sunshine, and spruce something up, and then go back at it.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it. It's the same thing. You are actually doing all of the things. You're
yeah.
moving, you're changing your visual cues. And for me specifically, if I'm working like with a client and they're in their closet, or any of you out there want to clean out your closet, if you take everything out, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Get outside, go do something, make your plant beautiful, walk your dog, talk to a friend, and then come back.
It's so amazing that you're saying that, because I know that this is the time of year too with the seasonal change where a lot of folks are doing that with their closet. And then it does become overwhelming, especially on a seasonal change. Um, I would really value you sharing more about your inspiration that led you to this mission. And then we're going to talk about the book. Um, Talk to us about trimming out the closet and working with what maybe they have, whether they're, what would your advice or suggestions be with styling on a budget?
And this is good because I'm always getting asked this question. So I write about it continually. So my suggestion for styling on a budget, I mean, there is just so many options out there. I mean, obviously, Amazon, I've just started working on Amazon. I just started an Amazon store. So that's another thing. I don't know how to lead people to that yet because I was working on it before I called you. But but I'm pulling all of my favorite things and I think you just put them into like a storefront so people can I'm curating basically my favorite things. So that's super helpful for people. And a lot of those pieces I'm trying to do on a budget. So inspired by maybe, much more high end pieces, but what is the look for less? So Amazon is a great place. However, if you're really trying to be conscious of the environment and not over purchasing and I love, love, love secondhand stores or like Gently Loved. I shop at one that is amazing. It's called Rewind. You guys can look it up online. And it's all designer pieces. But as I mentioned, I go to a lot of events and I needed a pair of silver shoes. And oddly enough, as a stylist, I just don't have the pair that in my mind needed to go with that dress. So I went to the consignment store and there was a $1,500 pair of Miu Miu shoes that had never been worn and I got them for $150. And so just something like that. I mean, maybe 150 is out of the budget for some. For some, it's within their budget. But you don't have to get those shoes. There's many others you can find for 20 or I love blazers at like any type of secondhand store. You just take them to the dry cleaner and throw in an oversized blazer with a pair of jeans or a skirt. It's such a cute look. So don't be afraid to venture into those places. Also, there's discount places for you in the US. I think it's like Marshall's. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, so those places you can go in there and you can find gems, and sometimes they have sales. And so there's sales even on those items. A lot of the online retailers have sales that start in July for all the summer pieces. So you can go online and there's sales for 60, 70% off. It's a great time to buy for your vacation. So you can think ahead. So I guess my advice to you be don't be afraid to wander into the secondhand stores. Don't be afraid to shop online. And also look at the sales online and, kind of think ahead. So if for Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, maybe you're going somewhere, maybe you're going to Florida or something like that. July is the time to start looking for those. Maybe you want a white linen shirt. Maybe you want a new skirt or dress or, a purse. Those things will all be on sale online.
It's so great, the thrill of the hunt.
The thrill of the hunt. And, and it's just to get fun. And some of the sites that work for you and your body shape. But you guys in the US, you're the sales are insane. I don't know when is your first main sale in the summer?
That's a good question. I think you might be right. It might be in July, because the stores start stocking back to school supplies in June. And then you know how it is. And then the holidays, it just seems they get pushed up sooner and sooner. So I would say probably end of July, end of June, early July makes sense to me.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's my advice. Like shop the sales online, shop the sales in the store, know when they're coming, Google it, find out. And you can do a lot of things on a budget. And sometimes in cities there's also like swap and shop. So there's people that organize like they bring their pieces to it's like a sale, like kind of like a market, but it's high end. And then you can trade people. Like maybe they're done with their pieces, but they have pieces that you would like. So those are things that happen in a lot of cities too. There's just so much available if you just Google.
Fun options. All right, my lady. I definitely, I'm watching the time, but I want to make sure that we get as much time as you want here to talk about your upcoming book. Tell us everything. I want you to share the title in your voice and tell us about it.
Okay. The book is called Style for Every Body. So obviously in every body is the reference to your body shape. So in the journey of being a stylist of many years, I found the single thing that is very difficult for people in order to get dressed quickly and get out the door and decrease your frustration. Many women don't A, know what their body shape is, B, have the basics in their closet, and C, know how to shop with their body type for the basics. So the book is kind of like, again, as I talked about, the advice that I wish I had is starting at ground zero. So this book is like, I basically took all of my knowledge. It's an illustrated hardcover, very beautiful book. It's timeless. You can give it to your girlfriend with a bottle of wine. You can stick it in as a stocking stuffer. It's meant to be a guide. I wrote it in my voice, like I wanted everyone to feel like I was their friend. I was there with them. I'm cheering them on and I'm giving them the best that I can to help them feel and look their best. And so it's just a summary of all of the essential things you need to know. The thing that wardrobe basics, your body type, what is your style, who are you, and then there's resources in there, how to find me, how to how to Google pictures of the red skirt you don't know how to style. It's a feel good book. The energy in it is beautiful because I am so excited to share it with the world and lift women up. And I think that they'll really enjoy it. It is on sale everywhere, on my website, on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Um, and I'm pretty excited about it. I feel really blessed, and it's my gift to everyone. And I'm hoping that there's a lot of people that get a lot of joy out of it.
Well, your energy is definitely enthusiastic and it's so exciting and it's always catchy, right? When it's great energy, you just want to, yes, okay, let me go right now and pick it up. So
That was
we'll be,
good.
yeah, we're definitely going to give you the stage here in a second to share your contact information and a reminder to the audience that all of her links will be in the resource section of the show notes. But Kim, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back to hear from this episode sponsor. I personally have been investing with Ashcroft Capital for about 5 years. I know the co-founder, Joe Fairless, pretty darn well. He's my brother, so I can personally vouch for him and how he approaches things. I like investing with Ashcroft because of the monthly cash flow. They buy apartment buildings, improve them, and then sell them. It's a good business to be in, and I'm glad to passively invest with them. You can learn more at ashcroftcapital.com. That's ASHCROFT capital.com. All right, milady, we are back. So as we begin to wrap up, I don't want to let you go, but I have to let you go. I know.
Yes, yes.
In keeping the promise to share intentional inspiration with our audience, is there a piece of advice or a quote or something that resonates with you that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes, I have. I on my Instagram, I love quotes, and actually, they are as many outfits as I have that are wonderful. The quotes are often my most popular posts. But you know what? To me, the biggest message I can give would be everything comes from your attitude. Everything comes from your mind.
Mm.
And so that is your biggest source of power. And so if you are excited and positive and intentional about your life, um, and you carry that forward in everything you do. And so if you have a moment where you've gotten down and you're getting stuck in your business, you just need to find a way to change that energy because you will open doors for yourself. You are the master of your own destiny. That is my quote. You have the power. We all have the power within us to live our dreams, to create, to build big things. And those all look different because we're all built differently. And so just be aware of the power of your mind and the power of the words that you have that you speak to yourself.
Beautiful. Well said. Thank you. Thank you. I was writing as fast as I could. No,
Awesome.
I love it. Even, it's so funny. I do that, even though I know we're going to listen to this, 20 times over. But there's something about for me just writing it in that moment. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
All
Thank
right, my
you.
lady, the stage is completely yours. The paparazzi, the lights are going off. Where can our audience go to find and connect with you on your socials and or support you in your continued success?
Well, everything is if you type in my name, which is Kim Appelt, so it's kind of like Apple with a T. Um, all of my socials, websites, YouTube, all of the shows I've been on as a style expert, everything will come up. If you hit images, there's a gazillion. And all of my socials are the same. They are Style by Kim XO. And the reason it's XO is because that is my gift to the world, the love that I'm putting in to try and help do my bit in raising up the vibrations of each and every woman that I touch or person. And so, Style by Kim XO, you will find Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. I've just started
Mm.
a Pinterest. Did you know that it's so big?
Yes, it's wild, isn't it?
Yes, it's wild. So I'm going to start like a Pinterest TV, I think.
Uh-huh.
Um, but anyway, Kim Appelt, type my name in, everything will come up. The book is everywhere. If you go into Amazon and you type in Style for Everybody, or you type in Kim Appelt, or you type in Kim XO, you will surely find your way.
Awesome. And we're going to help the audience out and make it simple for them so they can get to you as soon as possible. And so we'll include some of those links for them to get to you. Kim, it has been just energy boosting. Excited to go dive into all of those resources that you shared, what you're doing. Thank you for everything that you're doing for all of us out here. And it has just been so enlightening connecting with you. So thank you for sharing your Silhouette of Success story with us.
Me too. And thank you for having me. You share a similar energy, and it's very nice to meet you. And hello to everyone out there, and we will stay in touch.
Sounds like a plan. All right, milady. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at thesilhouettesofsuccess.com or connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're grateful that you tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.